All right, Canada election 2025. Here is the encouragement for today. I've had some people comment in my posts about how they feel like they've stood up to the government, they made their voice known, and they felt like the regime has beat them down. The key for letting our voice be heard in a nation is to continue to let your voice be heard in a way that is free from tone, that has some wisdom to it, and a measure of kindness. That's just how it is. There are times we need to continue to stand up and we need to continue to voice. It's how we will have a representation from the voice of the people, is the people need to continue to express it. Here's an example in history where it actually worked. Martin Luther King stood up and he voiced, Martin Luther King Jr. stood up and he voiced the opinion and through peaceful protests about the segregation of the blacks, and he drew attention to the cause. And he did it through nonviolent rallies and protests. And eventually, as the blacks were being beaten and hosed down with fire hoses, eventually sentiment turned in the nation and they actually start to feel bad for what they were doing. And they listened to the needs and of the concerns that were happening within the nation. And they resolved things at a measured level at that point in time. Our voices need to be heard and they need to continue to be heard. And they need to be heard in some form of wisdom and kindness and devoid of tone, because if it gets all wacko, then people will not address it if it's full of emotion and negativity. So there's the encouragement today. If you have a concern for our nation, is that you voice it in a way that is kind, that is healthy, that has some wisdom in it, and don't stop speaking, because eventually people will hear. So thanks for joining us. Paul Vermesh's best wishes to you and our nation through 2025. Take care.